1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavela and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President said that Sri Lanka's ethnic issue should be solved to find solutions to the main economic issue it is currently facing. The fuel distribution is continuing without any issue. Stern actions will be taken against the errant traders who violate the laws during the festive season. 2 contempt petitions against Finance Secretary fixed for consideration. The central bank outlines risks on investing in cryptocurrency. Foreign news, the Russia-Ukraine conflict completes 400 days. Ukraine says Russian forces making progress in frontline Bakhmut. In sports, 76ers dent Mavericks and Durant makes comeback. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that Sri Lanka's ethnic issue should be solved to find solutions to the main economic issue it is currently facing. The President made these remarks while delivering the keynote address at the Economic Dialogue IMF and beyond, and he said that the prevalent ethnic issue in the country cannot be separated from the economic crisis and must be resolved if the island nation is to progress. Speaking further at the CEO forum hosted by CA Sri Lanka, Wickremesinghe emphasized that the country's finances are required for the education, health and social safety of the poor and vulnerable and not to support institutions such as the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Ceylon Electricity Board or Sri Lankan Airlines. He explained that too much of Sri Lanka's money and resources have already been invested on such institutions, highlighting that this should no longer be the case. State Minister Indika Anuruddha says the fuel distribution is continuing without any issue at present. Almost all employees except the individuals who were sent on compulsory leave for disrupting the fuel distribution were reported to duty today. Day-to-day activities of the corporation are taking place without any difficulty. Speaking to the national radio, the State Minister said that an inquiry will be held over the trade union action and future actions will be taken after a meeting. Chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Shantha Niriyala, says that stern action will be taken against the errant traders who violate the laws during the festive season. Traders have a huge responsibility regarding the supply of consumer goods during the festive season. The chairman reiterates that no one can sell consumer items with higher prices. Consumer Affairs Authority officials will conduct raids island-wide to nab errant traders. The chairman requests the people to call on the hotline number 1977 around the clock to complain regarding the malpractices. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting. The Supreme Court has fixed 2 petitions filed against Finance Ministry Secretary Mahinda Siriwardana for consideration on May 22nd. The 2 contempt of court petitions were called before a 5-member Supreme Court bench today. Presenting submissions, the Attorney General sought more time to arrange the documents pertaining to the legal matter. Granting leave for the request, the judge bench decided to fix the 2 petitions for consideration on May 22nd. The petitions had been filed by Samagi Jana Balawegaya, General Secretary Ranjith Madhuma Bandara and National People's Power MP Vijitha Herath. They alleged that the Finance Secretary failed to comply with the Supreme Court's interim order issued earlier this month, preventing him from withholding the budgetary allocations for the 2023 local government election. The election, which was repeatedly postponed, citing inadequacy of funds due to the ongoing economic crisis, has been rescheduled for April 25th. Considering the current public inquiries and the development observed relating to cryptocurrencies, which are also commonly referred to as crypto, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka wishes to reiterate to the public of the significant risks associated with using and investing in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a type of virtual currency that is generated by private entities and not by the monetary authority of the country. The term cryptocurrency refers to a digital representation of value that is implemented using cryptography and distributed ledger technology or similar technology. It is observed observed that crypto trading is widely promoted by certain entities as a profitable investment. However, recent complaints received by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka have shown that members of the public have incurred heavy losses on their crypto investments and in certain instances have also been subject to financial scams conducted through crypto-related schemes. CBSL has already highlighted through press releases issued in 2018, 2021 and 2022 the significant financial, operational, legal and security-related risks as well as customer protection concerns posed to users of cryptocurrency. These risks and concerns have already materialized with the recent failures of various global institutions engaged in cryptocurrency businesses and the collapse and loss of value of some cryptocurrencies. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Senior advisor to the President on climate change, Ruwan Wijewardena, said Sri Lanka is to mobilize green energy investments in the energy sector and invites local and foreign direct investments for that purpose. He stated this while delivering the opening speech of the Sri Lanka Clean Energy Summit 2023 held at the Kingsbury Hotel, Colombo recently. The summit is a great opportunity for investors to find and identify green energy investment opportunities in Sri Lanka's energy sector, and the private sector is crucial in developing and deploying renewable energy technology, he said. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB New Year Bonanza. Special gifts and vouchers available till the 10th of April. Special discounts up to 20% on bank cards. CIB, excellence in customer care.
In Watchlight, Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that 20 employees of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, including trade union leaders, were sent on compulsory leave for disrupting fuel distribution. They have been banned from entering the territory of the CPC, and the security service of the Petroleum Corporation has also been informed about it. Requesting the public not to fear or panic that there will be a shortage of fuel, the minister said that the CPC and the IOC have stored enough quantity of fuel, and that came to in Watchlight.
CIB New Year Bonanza. Special gifts and vouchers available till the 10th of April. Special discounts up to 20% on bank cards. CIB, excellence in customer care.
World News headlines. The Russian-Ukraine conflict completes 400 days. Ukraine says Russian forces making progress in frontline Bakhmut. UAE President designates his eldest son as Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. And a report says Antarctic Ocean currents heading for collapse. The Russian-Ukraine conflict is now in its 400th day. Russian forces have had some success in the eastern frontline city of Bakhmut, Ukrainian military officials said, adding that their fighters were still holding on in a battle that has lasted several months. The mining city of Bakhmut and surrounding towns in the eastern industrial region of Donetsk have been the focal point of assault for much of the 13-month-long offensive by Russia of neighboring Ukraine. Neither side yet has full control, with heavy losses suffered by both. Russian officials say their forces are still capturing ground and street-by-street fighting inside Bakhmut. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the United Arab Emirates, has appointed his eldest son, Khalid, as Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, placing him next in line to take over as leader of the federation. The state-run WAM news agency announced the appointment of Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Wednesday as Crown Prince without providing much details. After Sheikh Mohammed, 62, ascended to the presidency last year, rumors swirled about whether he would make one of his brothers his heir. In that case, the front-runners would have been Sheikh Tarnan bin Zayed, the powerful national security chief, Sheikh Mansour, the owner of the Manchester City Football Club, or the foreign minister Sheikh Abdullah. A separate announcement said Sheikh Mohammed had appointed Sheikh Mansour as vice president of the UAE with the approval of the Federal Supreme Council. Rapidly melting Antarctic ice is causing a dramatic slowdown in deep ocean currents and could have a disastrous effect on the climate, a new report warns. The deep water flows which drive ocean currents could decline by 40% by 2050, a team of Australian scientists say. The currents carry vital heat, oxygen, carbon and nutrients around the globe. Previous research suggests a slowdown in the North Atlantic current could cause Europe to become colder. The study published in the journal Nature also warns the slowdown could reduce oceans' ability to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The report outlines how the Earth's network of ocean currents are part driven by the downward movement of cold, dense salt water towards the seabed near Antarctica. But as fresh water from the ice cap melts, seawater becomes less salty and dense, and the downwards movement slows. Back to the headlines of the world news. The Russia-Ukraine conflict completes 400 days. Ukraine says Russian forces making progress, and frontline Bakhmut. UAE President designates his eldest son as Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. And a report says Antarctic Ocean currents heading for collapse. And that ends World News.
Development News.
On to development news, Education Minister Dr. Susil Premachandra said that STEAM education system, which is introduced from tomorrow. This will be initiated under the theme Let's See, Let's Work, Step into the Future. The STEAM education system can be utilized to strengthen the national economy since STEAM education system contributes up to 65% of the GDP of some countries. STEAM will arm school children how to combine the conceptual knowledge acquired in the classroom under general education with practical use in classroom as well as outside of it, he added. The STEAM education model is currently used in 96 countries around the world, led by the United States, and attracted attention of educators as a very successful method of education. It is believed that Finland, which has the number one education system in the world, also has introduced the STEAM education system. And that came to in development news. On to sports news. First, it's basketball. The Philadelphia 76ers dented Dallas Mavericks' hopes of reaching the NBA playoffs with victory on Wednesday. The Mavericks conference finalists in 2022 took a 12-point lead in the first half, but the 76ers came back to win 116-108, Joel Embiid scoring 25 points. And Dallas are 11th in the Western Conference of the top 6 going straight into the playoffs and 7th to 10th going into the play-ins. Elsewhere, Phoenix Suns beat Minnesota Timberwolves on Kevin Durant's return. And now on soccer news. Fridolina Rolfo scored twice as Barcelona trashed Roma to secure progression to the Women's Champions League semi-finals. Rolfo scored either side of Maria Leon's stunning curled strike in front of 54,677 joyous fans at the Nou Camp. Goals from Asisat Oshuala and Patricia Gajaro put the Catalan side out of sight before Ana Maria low drive gave Roma's consolation goal. Marco will meet Chelsea or defending champions Lyon in the last 4. And that was sports news.
Senehase Dayada from NSB. NSB is proud to present the NSB Hapan account with a deposit of 2,000 rupees for all children born in March 2023 from NSB.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fourth round of negotiations on the proposed Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement was held in Colombo from March 27 to 29, 2023. The Sri Lanka government hopes to sign the agreement in the first quarter of 2024. The initiative aligns with the President's vision of enhancing economic relations with large and emerging economies, with a particular focus on ASEAN countries. On March 26, the 35-member Thai delegation led by Auraman Supati Veetham, Director General of the Department of Trade Negotiations, arrived in Sri Lanka for the fourth round of talks. And that was Business News.
Business News, Sponsored by National Savings Bank.
Senehase Dayada from NSB. Commemorating International Women's Day and their 51st anniversary in March, NSB is proud to present the NSB Hapan account with a deposit of 2,000 rupees for all children born in March 2023. Enjoy a host of benefits throughout March. A tribute to motherhood and our future generation from NSB.
On to economic news. Chief of Presidential Staff and Senior Advisor on National Security to the President Sagala Ratnayaka said the construction sector problems will be addressed gradually as the country's financial situation improves. He made this statement during the meeting of the Working Committee on Interest Rates and Bank Recovery Measures to uplift the construction sector held recently at the President's office. In light of the current economic crisis, the financial problems confronting the construction industry as well as the steps to be taken in this regard were discussed at length. Speaking further, Ratnayaka stated that it is the government's expectation to provide solutions to all the problems that have arisen in the construction sector. And that was economic news. Now on to the weather report.
Weather report.
The Met Department forecasts that showers or thunder showers will occur at times in a few places in the western Sabaragamuwa, southern provinces and the Anuradhapura Kandy Nuwara district during the afternoon or night. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the report. And now back to the headlines. The President said that Sri Lanka's ethnic issue should be solved to find solutions to the main economic issue it is currently facing. The fuel distribution is continuing without any issue. Stern actions will be taken against the errant traders who violate the laws during the festive season. 2 contempt petitions against Finance Secretary fixed for consideration. The central bank outlines risks on investing in cryptocurrency. Foreign news, the Russian-Ukraine conflict completes 400 days. And Ukraine says Russian forces making progress in frontline Bakhmut. In sports, 76ers dent Mavericks and Durant makes comeback. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.